Shutdown mania has hit the country. Everyone's talking about it. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. This is a double-wide episode. 2 episodes back-to-back in one post. So this is how we reach you better, because YouTube's only made to send you 3 notifications. So if I did 4 separate upload videos, you'd only get 3 notifications. So instead, we're doing 4 videos and we do them in 3 notifications. I hope that's not too complex. Talk about complex. People have been complaining about my American flag, saying you've got the stars on the wrong side. I used to have the stars on the right back when I had this original channel. All the military people came out and said, Doug, your flag is wrong. You don't just turn it clockwise. So I looked it up on Google and AI. Officially, the stars and stripes go there. The stars go on the left when you hang a flag vertically. Anyways, thanks for your patience. We're going to hear from more of you on this show. First, here's Speaker Mike Johnson with the rundown of where we're at on the shutdown.
Welcome to day 3 of the Democrat shutdown. You've got the Chuck Schumer and the Senate Democrats have now voted 3 times to reject the clean, simple, continuing resolution that we passed out of the House 2 weeks ago to keep the government operating for the people. Real pain for real Americans. And they're claiming breathlessly, Dana, that they're not trying to restore free taxpayer-funded benefits and health care to illegal aliens, and it's simply not true. I would direct everybody right now, go to speaker.gov, okay? That's my official website. We put right there on the first page the evidence. I have the receipts, okay, as Bill said earlier. Chuck Schumer filed a counter proposal, a counter continuing resolution when they voted ours down. And what is in that? If you go there on the page, you'll see, go to page 57. It's buried in their document. But it says in that section 2141 right there, Chuck Schumer filed it. It says they want to repeal the health provisions of the One Big Beautiful Bill, the working families tax cut that we Republicans passed earlier this year and that President Trump signed into law on July 4th. Now, why is that so important? Because, Dana, that's where you'll find they want to add back in almost $200 billion of taxpayer funds to give free stuff to illegal aliens.
Let's check him out. Why take his word for it? That's Speaker Mike Johnson, whom I love. I actually went to the Senate.gov, found page 57, which he's talking about. I'm going to read it direct. Subtitle E, over health provisions, section 2141, repeal of health subtitle changes that was in the big beautiful bill. Subtitle B of the Roman numeral 7 of the act, titled an act to provide for reconciliation pursuant to Title II of H Con Res 14 quote public law 11921. Thank you, government. You're so helpful. Is repealed, and any law or regulation referred to in such subtitle shall be applied as if such subtitle and the amendments made by such subtitle had not been enacted. That's them reversing what they passed in Big Beautiful Bill, okay, to cut health care to illegals. Permanent extension of enhanced tax credit. General subparagraph A, section 30, blah, blah, blah. Okay, anyways, you get the idea, right? Chuck Schumer put this in to reverse what the Big Beautiful Bill forbid. I'm going to prove to you that Democrats right now are funding illegal health care, and it's coming out of your pocket and harming your health care. That's Trump and Russ Vought and Mike Johnson's entire thing that they've been saying is you're getting screwed. The Democrats are lying. But this is a huge battle going on right now, as I said before, in public media. Who will buckle first? Those of us who are not getting paid by the government, including Democrats and Republicans, or will Republicans buckle and give the illegals? They're not going to do it, guys. So it's important that we keep promoting and supporting the Republicans publicly and demolishing the Democrats publicly. Tell Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries what you think of them in the comments below.
In the meantime, they're focusing their attention on cuts to blue states, funding cuts to blue states after freezing infrastructure funds in New York, which was widely interpreted as a shot at Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. The OMB director announced this morning $2.1 billion in Chicago infrastructure projects, specifically the Red Line extension and the Red and Purple modernization project, have been put on hold to ensure funding is not flowing via race-based contracting.
So this is, of course, they announced that they were giving these projects according to to race-based contracting. So this is a great way, a double up on shutting this down. They have two reasons to help save this money. This is the Republicans putting the pressure on the Democrats. They're going to punish blue states and any project that's under the government that they can do. They're going to cut it, and they're going to go in and cut heavy.
If Senate votes this afternoon fail, Majority Leader Thune is expected to send members home where they'll get an earful in their districts. And we're told there are cracks in the Democratic coalition behind the scenes as Republicans keep replaying these tapes from all the times Democrats argued against shutdown.
See, the Republicans, they're doing a media campaign, and it's infecting when all of these politicians go back to their home district. They're going to hear from the suffering masses. The Democrats are going to hear from more of their suffering masses than Republicans. And then the Democrats in vulnerable districts could lose elections, and we're aiming at 4 of them to try to get them to cave on their vote. We need 5 more votes. Thune does, to get this thing through, just to get the government funded for a lame, miserable halfway of November, and then all this starts over again.
Right now, Republicans are trying to pick off retiring Democrats like Dick Durbin, Gary Peters, and Jeanne Shaheen. Jon Ossoff in swing state Georgia is also facing a tough re-election next.
Georgia, why did you put Jon Ossoff in office? Georgia? We got way more MAGA people in Georgia than that. We got to get organized down there, people.
Year and getting pressure.
Good. We're going to try and get all these people pressured. Durbin the Turban. They are not going to bend. Now, so this is the argument going on, right? Right now, they're finding out who is going to be affected by these shutdowns. And the media is going to put all of their sob stories in your face to try to get Republicans to cave. They're going to try and pin this on the Republicans, say Republicans want to starve you. And the Republicans say the Democrats are trying to give away your health care to illegals. So I asked you yesterday, in the last show yesterday, are any of you being affected? And lo and behold, you guys answered. Here's what you came up with. I wasn't in the military for the paycheck. The pay sucked. I joined to keep America safe. I'm proud of these troops now who continue to do the same. We never shut down. That's just a different attitude of Republicans already. We serve our country. We're willing to take a hit for Trump if it means giving the American people a win and the Democrats a lose. My brother is a military contractor. He's not working until the Schumer shutdown is over. Both my girlfriend and I are GS-12 workers for the Department of Defense, Army at Fort Bragg, and we were furloughed yesterday. However, we got paid today, and we're both retired soldiers, so we have income, but I'm not sure how a GS-7 without additional income will cope. There's another one. I have several friends who work in government research labs and data analysis that have been furloughed. I also have a son in the Navy who has been told that his next paycheck will likely be delayed. Big fan, Doug, but yes, I am working for the USSF and currently not getting paid for it. I understand the circumstances, however, but I do feel for some of my younger coworkers living check to check. Hopefully, this all gets resolved soon, and Doge and the POTUS are able to make the necessary cuts during the time frame. Keep doing what you do, my guy, and you guys know I will. You guys are the gasoline in my tank. You're incredible in the chat. You're incredible throwing likes up. You're incredible passing this channel around to your friends. I'm trying to make it easier for you to subscribe by putting a link in the description and pinned first comment on this episode. You just click it and it'll take you straight to the subscribe button, and you just say, yes, I want to subscribe. My son is an air traffic controller. In the last shutdown, he still had to work, but future paychecks will not come until the government is reopened. He will be paid for all time work, just delayed. My husband works for the SSA. He's going to work without pay while ensuring the public continues to get their SSI disability and Social Security checks still processed. Thank your husband. I'm actually a federal worker in military family medicine residency program. I'm considered essential to keep the program running, but I don't get paid until this is over. I will be retiring after 19 years in the program in December. I'm also active duty in Air Force and have been through these shutdowns many times with all the changes in the military medical field that's been happening over the past several years. I'm ready for retirement. I think this is just proof for me that it's time to seek greener pastures in retirement. If we're still shut down come the 11th or 12th, I do not have to go to drill because I will not get paid. I will be postponed and made up on a different weekend. I'm affected by shutdown, no pay. I'm a federal, civilian, and National Guardsman. So these are all the blue collar workers in my audience. I did not think this many of you would be affected. And by the way, this is only about 1/4 of the posts that I even decided to put in this show. So it's about 4 times more, just a massive percentage of all my audience, but all audiences are getting their checks furloughed. So will the Democrats work on you? They're trying to get you to call the Republicans and say, Trump's shutting down the government. Stop, give the money to the illegal healthcare already. I need my paycheck. Is that you? I'm just curious. See if it's working on you. Here's my buddy Grums posted this over on Twitter as he looked at the Homeland Security, said, now arrives the hour of action. And then this spicy tuna roll angry person said, y'all ain't even getting paid. And then this is the greatest answer ever. Homeland Security. We aren't in it for the money. Our nation matters more. Let that steal your will to my audience suffering under low pay. Because what are we fighting? This is what we're fighting. This is all in Spanish, but we're going to read this together. Pay attention together. These are 2 illegals that they go up and interview and watch what they say.
¿Por cuánto tiempo han estado quedándose aquí en el Rojo Hotel?
How long have you been staying in the Raw Hotel? How many months is that? I'm just going to read it to you. Like 7 months. Have you have to pay rent? No, nothing. I haven't paid anything. Is it 100% free? Yes. And they give you lunch and breakfast? Yes. And they give the child personal items, diapers, whatever he needs in the hotel. Do they clean the rooms? Yes. Every day they clean. Change the bed sheets. Every day they do that? Yes, every day. Have you been able to get a job? No, not me. No job. If you had a medical problem, how would you receive help? Well, with the medical insurance, Medicare, we have the Metro Plus, and that covers the children's needs. We also benefit from that. Those are illegals, guys, getting Medicare right now. Now, this may be in New York or in our big cities, may not be across America, but this shows what the Democrats are trying to protect. They're not paying taxes. They're not paying into a system. They're getting the benefits. Do you feel supported thanks to our president? Well, yes, because we aren't working or anything, and he's the one helping us. Now, I have sympathy for any illegal here with their families, but America is not made for illegals to come here and leech off of us. They need to leave. They need to be moved out. Your family needs to be moved out and go back to your country, because you can't just come in illegally, cut in line in front of everyone else and declare yourself the world's biggest emergency for us to take care of. I get it. America is the greatest country in the world. I have total sympathy. If I was in another country, I'd be breaking into this country illegally all day. Sitting in a hotel, have people change my sheets, give me free Medicare, help with my baby's diapers for free, and not work. I get it. But we're done with it. Can't afford it. Sorry. Here's more on the shutdowns of cutting the green news scam projects.
This has been thousands of work hours to evaluate all of these projects. Just an incredible, irresponsible deployment of taxpayer money. I mean, should
Chris Wright, Energy Secretary.
American taxpayers really fund decarbonizing Uber Eats in San Francisco or building e-bike lanes in Portlandia? $600 million to further subsidize construction of unreliable, expensive electricity sources.
That's what the federal tax dollars are paying for. $600 million or $1 billion of our money going to fund giving green cars to Uber Eats, help doing these green deals just in California so they benefit. But the whole nation pays the tax. Why? The excuse is, this is back under Biden, that because of global warming is the #1 killer of people in the world, it is now a national issue to take your money and reduce carbon emissions in San Francisco, so they get all the money to end green emissions to save your life. That was the thinking behind it. It's a cult, of course. It's a ridiculous idea. This is on Obamacare, on the health care, how it was all screwed up by Democrats.
The fault of it is not illegal immigrants. When people go to hospitals and have to wait hours in the emergency room, you know why? because when you pass a bill that closes rural hospitals, you have to drive, and it consolidates the amount of patients. When doctors have to work extremely long hours, my mom just had a heart procedure. The doctor had to do 50 heart catheterizations in one day. Do you think that's not because, let me tell you, one person he did a heart catheterization on that day was an illegal immigrant.
I have no idea. But the question is,
I'm not finished. Thank you.
Oh, shut up, sister. She just gave the mansplaining talk to her. I'm not finished. Thank you. Okay.
Question was, is this a way that Republicans are just using illegal immigrants to deflect the conversation?
And the answer
is yes.
No, it is
yes.
not.
Because illegal immigrants are not the reason why our healthcare system is broken.
Yeah, it's not deflection at all. In fact, I brought receipts. So here's the CMS, the Center for Medicaid and Medicare Services, right here with their press release earlier this year saying they were having to increase their oversight on states like California who were abusing Medicaid and classifying it as an EUSA, an emergency system, when it wasn't. You've got the average state spends 5% of its Medicaid roughly on emergency services. California, 35 to 40%. Why would that be? Because California passed a state law that says we will fund Medicaid for illegals. And then, oh, by the way, we'll raise our provider taxes. And then, oh, by the way, we'll use that as a match to draw down federal funds. And they're using this whole cavitation process.
An accounting trick to put it on the taxpayer.
Money is fungible.
And illegals, this is true. My daughter is a nurse. I don't want to get her in trouble, but illegals use emergency rooms as their primary care doctor, as their main doctor. They go into an emergency room with a cold. I'm going to spell it out here, guys, a little more detail. This is Obamacare did this. I had a phenomenal PPO for $200 a month before Obamacare. Now I pay $1,600 a month for the same plan. Democrats did that. My personal family, wife and 4 kids, our insurance premiums are one of our biggest bills. It's outrageous. It's like $24,000 a year. And we're not like on some Rolls Royce plan. I didn't get to keep my doctor. I have a ton of skin surgeries on my face and body every year because of skin cancer. Always. They've been cutting into me for 20 years. So I saw the direct price go from what it was to what it is now. My healthcare costs have gone up at least 4 times since Obamacare. I was sent this by Georgian this morning, 2025 premiums versus 2026 premiums for someone making $65,000 a year. Republicans in Washington did this. Now, this is blaming Republicans. This is from Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock is blaming the Republicans. This is what I'm fighting to stop. This is what's at stake in the shutdown. Is this Republicans or Obamacare? We go at Anthem Blue Cross from $300 a month to $900 a month. That's according to Raphael Warnock. And then here's Kyle Mann from the Babylon Bee. Man, the Affordable Health Care Act was terrible, wasn't it? Gunther Engelman, Obama did this, dip S. Obama raised my premiums. So everyone's giving you all the premiums of how Obama's the one that made the prices constantly go up, and now they have to be subsidized by the government for the poor. Anyways, it was a disaster. Here's one from a New York City emergency room nurse, Elizabeth McDonald, a specialist of lung transplants, and Democrats misleading and downplaying the problem of illegal aliens using hospital emergency rooms as their primary care physicians, straining the hospital system to the breaking point. They, illegal aliens, know what they're doing. They know the rules. They know we can't turn them away, but they're abusing the system, using us for their regular flu or head colds while trauma patients get pushed aside. It's unfair that illegals are using ER as their primary care physicians. We are forced to treat them and take over the resources of what the ER is supposed to be. People with genuine emergencies are having to wait hours to be seen because the ER is filled with illegals with colds. Americans are spending millions of dollars on healthcare for illegals as it is. They give fictitious addresses so they never get a bill, but even if they do, they don't pay it. The minute they get citizenship, they immediately go on Medicaid, which pays for everything. Meanwhile, I have patients that have to choose what medications they can afford to pay for each month, even though they have private health insurance. America is a generous country, but this is unfair. PubMed just released a new study showing how at the one community health clinic, a large U.S. city, 61% of emergency visits among illegal alien patients were classified as preventable or primary care treatable. This is the evaluating emergency department utilization among undocumented patients receiving care in a community healthcare clinic just from 2025. Last one from JD Vance. New health insurance option for undocumented immigrants over 65 years old. This is retirement age immigrants taking money from you, my retirement age legal citizens. Starting January 1st, 2024, there will be a new option for health care insurance available for undocumented immigrants over 65. He's just showing that Democrats are lying. You may disagree. Maybe we agree that when you take a Hippocratic oath, a doctor must treat an illegal immigrant. That's what every doctor and nurse I know does. They do not turn away illegals. If you're sitting there and you come in and you have your arm severed off, it's an emergency. They'll fix it first and they'll figure out if they're going to ever get payment from you, because our doctors and nurses take oaths for life. So it's a lie that the Democrats are saying this. We have to get these illegals out of the country. They cannot be here and ruin our healthcare services for us that we paid for. This is a double wide episode, so stick around. We're ending this episode. Another one's about to start right here. Don't turn the channel, but do subscribe, thumbs up, and leave a comment. I'm Doug in Exile. The Portland Police Department are Antifa. The Portland Police Department are Antifa. Welcome to Doug in Exile, to the second half of the double wide trailer. We're in the caboose of the trailer and the news continues. So we're going to go straight to Antifa. The reason why I'm bringing this up is, number one, this is Sean Davis, and this involves Nick Sorter, two of my favorite sort of radical journalists. But Sean Davis says, once you understand that the Portland Police Department is Antifa, everything it does and refuses to do suddenly makes sense. What is he talking about? This was last night, okay? So this is in front of a Portland ICE building, okay? And there's these anti-ICE protesters, and they're burning American flag because that's what anti-ICE does. They're communists and they hate your country and they hate you. And they would burn a cross if they were really being honest, because they might as well be in the Klan. However, you'll see them all, and they're all dressed like Comic-Con cosplayers and furries with their garbage strewn everywhere, dirty needles and urine, urination and poo-poo on the sidewalk. That's what they did to Portland. They won't let you pump your own gas for environmental concerns, and then they allow them to burn a flag, putting dangerous fluorocarbons in the air, because Portlanders do not care about the environment more than they care about destroying the country. But you're going to see Nick Sorter, one of my favorite journalists, guys. I've actually referenced him probably over 100 times on this channel. That is, I've used his source, and so I love him. And he goes and he puts out this flag. So you'll see him come in here on the right. Watch. Hippies burning a missing teeth. Look at her flipping a bird.
Oh,
there's Nick Sorter.
He's putting it on the ground and he's making it worse. Now he's standing on it. Now he's standing on it. You're not supposed to stand on it. Oh, now I think he's saving it.
And he honored the American flag. Good man. Good man. Everyone's free speech is fine, but he did touch their flag that they have a right to. By the way, if I go and start a fire in downtown Portland, Oregon, on a sidewalk, they would come and find me for doing an illegal burning and for putting fluorocarbons in the air. So as long as I'm burning an American flag, it's okay. Cut to, what do the Portland police do? They arrest Nick Sorter. There he is.
Whoa.
Yeah, take him away. Not the witches burning the flag. Oh, they got their bikes around Nick Sorter. You know, Nick Sorter, look at him. He looks like he came out of a fraternity chess club meeting, and they have their bikes around him like, we got to keep him from getting away. You're arresting him, yeah. A journalist, by the way. When Jimmy Kimmel got taken off the air, every Democrat had a period on the spot, male or female, by the way, because they're Democrats. And not one Democrat has come up and said, Portland arrested a journalist exercising his free speech, putting out a flag. Not one of them has been upset that Portland zip-tied a journalist, hands behind his back. All Disney did was take Kimmel off the air. One of ours is getting zip-tied on the streets of Portland. Not one Democrat. all of my hippie Democrat animator friends there. I know you're all sensitive. A lot of, they're limiting their water use on their lawns in Burbank because they wouldn't want to destroy the country with their rainbow flag on the front yard. But every one of them are on Facebook right now going after me, going, how can you, a Christian American Republican, not be more upset that Jimmy Kimmel got taken off the air, Doug? You're no free speech friend. They're all coming after me for my free speech. All of them silent. They don't care. None of them care. Democrats do not care about free speech. They care about power. So they'll use free speech against you when it benefits their power. That's all it means. Now, Fox News Local got a hold of Nick Sorter, and here he is saying it's going to backfire on Portland. Now that they've been exposed as Portland Police Department is Antifa.
What's your message to Portland police and the city leaders of Portland after your arrest?
Look, this is going to backfire on them tremendously. It already is. Okay, people knew that something out here stunk and that it was corrupt and that the police they take the side of the violent criminals that are here every single day, assaulting ICE officers, assaulting journalists. And then a reporter comes and, tries to embed deep within the chaos that's going in out here, and he's the one that gets arrested. They just proved the point that all of us have been saying. It's no longer a conspiracy theory.
All of your city's police departments are compromised. Alvin bragged that they'd catch and release illegals until they murder someone. This is all part of the plan. I hate conspiracies, guys. I think conspiracies are for lunatics. But after a while, when you see every police department release violent people 14 times until they stab some blonde girl in the gut or slit her throat, then they're all like, oh, what could we have done? By the way, the homeless guy that slit the Ukrainian girl in the throat, I didn't hear any Democrats calling for knife reform. They're always doing the gun reform. We have to do turn in your knives and your machetes, people. Knives are killing people. You dummies. You absolute imbeciles. I can't even believe it. Wait, here's our great Harmeet Dillon. I love her. Harmeet Dillon. AAG Dillon, bye. She says, bye. What's this about? This is going to the show's about to turn into racism. You guys know how I hate covering racism. This is the Community Relations Services, okay? Has been officially defunded. What's the Community Relations Services? For the uninitiated, this Community Relations Services was the racial censorship arm of the Department of Justice, signed into law with the Civil Rights Act. Its function was to threaten and silence the families of white victims of racial crimes. So if your blonde daughter gets knifed by a brown person or a yellow person, or a green person, or Irish green, they're always after me Lucky Charms and me Guinness. You can have my Lucky Charms. You steal my Guinness, we're going to have trouble. Its stated goal was to keep the peace between the races. But in reality, it was only weaponized against white families. Why? I happen to be a white family. If you've ever seen a white victim's family immediately after a tragedy go on the news and say an obvious hate crime wasn't about race, that was the CRS at work. Good riddance. Here it is. Community Relations Services. $24 million and 56 jobs and 2 attorneys. There's their mission statement. This is sick. Anti-white. I don't like anti-black stuff. I don't like anti-white stuff. I don't like anytime you look at someone's genetics. I don't like anti-age stuff, anti-old people stuff. I think you're sick if you start saying there's something immoral about someone because they're brown, green, red, fat. All right, they might be a glutton. Here's more from Harmeet Dillon. Portland, it's FO time, buckle up. That comes from F around and find out. It's the find out time, says Harmeet Dillon. Here's Nick Sorter. Nick Sorter, he's the guy that was arrested by Portland police for saving an American flag. Breaking Attorney General Pam Bondi, guys. Who here is still believing the lies about Pam Bondi? I hear from you every once in a while in the chat. Okay, keep repeating that stuff. Attorney General Pam Bondi, whom Donald Trump, Matt Gaetz, Dan Bongino, everyone who works with her, Mike Davis says is our greatest attorney general ever. And someone's lying to you, playing Scooby-Doo, going, she said there was Epstein files and they ran, blah, blah, blah. And you're stuck in an old narrative, guys. Get out of the narrative. Take that ceiling off. Remove the foil hat. It's blocking the sun's rays. Breaking, Attorney General Pam Bondi has ordered a full investigation led by Assistant AG Harmeet Dillon of the Portland Police Bureau following my wrongful arrest last night. Bondi confirmed to me. FAFO. Blank around, find out. Pam Bondi personally called me to deliver the news, and I'm incredibly grateful to her for doing so. Trump, DOJ will not allow Portland police to continue to do the bidding of Antifa. There's Nick Sorter getting arrested by a bunch of hippies in bicycle suits. What a shame. You know, it's Obama that ruined the race relations of America, but none more so than during Black Lives Matter. Here's Ibrahim Kendi. This is the big anti-white George Floyd, making millions of dollars at a film screening for his Netflix film. Ready for this title of this film? Whiteness Prevents White Peoples from Connecting to Humanity. That's not the title of it, but I'm only saying, I can't wait I'm going to sit my family around. Guys, it's movie night. It's Friday night, guys. Let's watch the Whiteness is America's Biggest Problem film.
I don't think white people worldwide have really reckoned with how much their own personal identity is shaped by constructions of whiteness.
Oh my gosh. I'm looking at my white shape. There is a culture in blacks. I love being called a honky, and I think it's funny to have a little fun with each other. Fred Sanford, Sanford and Son. I like having fun. Archie Bunker, that's fun. In every race, and in every ethnicity, including white people, there's kind of a, hey, watch out for those minorities over there. In Hawaii, we had our car broken into, and they called us a haole. We were white people. They were island natives. Mexicans, when I would work with Mexicans in the fields, picking berries, I picked baby breath. They called me Wedo, white guy. I was a white guy. Wedo. Gringo, they'd call me Gringo. That was all good-natured and fun. I had no problem. And we'd call them, I can't tell you what we'd call them. But if you're friends with an illegal man, they have a lot of fun slinging racist jokes about everybody. There is a form of black ethnic culture that blames white people. Don't trust a whitey, and it is a prison. It is a prison. If we live in formal racism and I blame everything on another race over your skin color, it is a prison, a mental prison. This man is in a mental prison.
And how much that construction of whiteness prevents white people from connecting to humanity.
What the hell? Who the hell are you? You are a dumb person. And I don't mean because you're black. Because really, I've heard a lot more white people say this shite than you. You're white. It keeps me from connecting to humanity. I'm just going to lean into it. Fine. Good. You cracked it. Do you know why I can't connect to humanity and I never will connect to humanity and I hate humanity and I'm blocked? It's because I'm white. I can't do anything about it. This is my shield. This is my excuse for everything. Why are you kind of impugning my character and pretending like I had something? I had nothing to do with my materials. These are the materials. God cursed me with white DNA, these material particles, and my mind can do no other. It's determinism. I'm a robot. I would love to connect with the broader community, but my white skin prevents me. You incredible dumb. You are dumb and hateful, and you're a racist. You're that's one of the biggest racial statements you can say in general about white people. The difference is I don't blame your black DNA. I blame your crooked soul. It's immaterial is your problem. It's not your material programming of your black skin that makes you talk this way. You're an asshole. That's the problem. And an asshole is an equal opportunity employer. It will employ anyone. Sorry for cussing, guys. I just get mad. This is sickening. It's sickening, and it makes black people hate whites more. And then black people go out and stab a white, and they think it's okay because and then the whites fight back against the blacks and go, it's the blacks. They're all prone to crime, and they're trying to date our blonde daughters. You heard all the racist stuff. I hate racism. I hate racist, black or white. Makes me sick. Here's Joel Berry, because this is more racism, guys. Let's see if we can get me animated and angry again, okay? Because this is over. All America's son, Charlie Kirk, gets assassinated. And here's this scumbag going, MAGA finds it's George Floyd. Charlie Kirk isn't the first martyr to be used as a cudgel. We're using Charlie Kirk as a cultural. He's our George Floyd. I'm actually sick by people on the right using Charlie Kirk as click product. I always want to lay off him on my titles because you can get a lot of views if you go out and just start chanting his name and monetizing it. You know, I am Charlie Kirk, first of all, but I don't like the idea of just going for the easy kill with that in the title and things. I don't want to manipulate all of you into giving me money and credit and fame over Charlie Kirk's death. I think it's sick. Today, like 5 years ago, a controversial man has been transformed overnight into a one-dimensional saint, marshaled in a culture war that precludes measured thought. Once again, Americans are being asked to genuflect before an idol. That's a quote from Thomas Chatterton's article. That's all I'm trying to do is get you to genuflect before a white idol of Charlie Kirk. Here's Joel Berry from the Babylon Bee. 3 minor differences. Our guy was a law-abiding husband and father, unlike George Floyd. Your guy was a woman-beating menace and a drug addict thief. That's right, who held a gun up to a pregnant woman. Our guy was murdered by a trans terrorist for expressing Christian beliefs on gender. Your guy died of a fentanyl overdose after trying to defraud a convenience store while being lawfully restrained by a heroic cop, according to trained protocol. When our guy died, our side wept, prayed, and forgave. We also sing praises to God, by the way. I'll notice that. When your guy died, your side murdered dozens of innocent people and burned down half the country. So yeah, totally the same. I can't say it better than Joel Berry there. But wait, the anti-Semitism of the left doesn't end with just blacks. Can't leave the Jews out. That would be racist of me if I left the Jews out. Here's Scott Jennings on anti-Semitism at Harvard campus. He's speaking at Harvard and he's talking to Harvard.
In the universities, I'm just going to level with you. Some of them, including this one, fomenting some very bad things on campus as it relates to Jewish students, Jewish faculty, anti-Semitism, and so on. And the fight was worth having. You cannot allow these Jewish students and faculty and staff to be threatened, chased, made miserable, held hostage inside buildings.
By the way, he's saying this to a black man, okay? We also believe this about black people. This applies to everyone. And white people. We don't want you pinned in a building. We don't want you being a professor and have people call out a Jew. You're Israel. I'm boycotting your class because you're a Jew.
Buildings discriminated against.
By Harvard, guys. This is 2025. You know what caused all of it? October 7th, 2023. Jews slaughtered by Hamas is what caused them to be the least favorite minority at the university, at Harvard. I thought smart people went to Harvard. Apparently, just a bunch of freaking anti-Semite racists go to Harvard. Nice brand you got there, Harvard, with Kennedy School. John F. Kennedy. My constituents, I did not drive the car off that Chappaquiddick Bridge. I couldn't save her to save my own life. Ted Kennedy, what a scum.
On this or any other campus, the fight was worth having.
Yes, it was.
Now, how the settlements shake out and how the courts decide some of these, the process will play out. But from my point of view, as someone who thinks the civil rights of everyone deserves to be defended.
Radical Scott Jennings, the civil rights of everyone deserves. I love him talking to a bunch of snots at Harvard saying, call me crazy. I think the civil rights of everyone should be defended. And Harvard's going, wait, the Jews? I mean, we know for blacks, but not the damn Jews. Hang them from a tree. We own Jews. Can we buy and sell them as human chattel? Scott Jennings, call me crazy, but maybe we should observe the civil rights of everyone. Harvard.
The idea that we would look the other way when it comes to rampant anti-Semitism in university environments, no way. So I think the fight is worth happening on.
Yeah, no way, not going to happen. We're defending people of every race. Speaking of defending every race, this is my favorite post from Wade Stotts on they really don't want to release the name. This is the funniest. I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but this is a Manchester synagogue was attacked in England by a guy, and they really Keir Starmer does not want to release the name. Why? Wait till you hear the name. Take a guess.
Well, let's just bring you an update now from counter-terrorism police. We are hearing that there are now 3 people in custody. 3 arrests have been made in connection with this morning's attack. And Greater Manchester Police have confirmed the name of the suspect shot dead by armed officers here at Heaton Park Synagogue. They say we are now able to confirm that although formal identification is yet to take place, we believe the person responsible for today's attack is 35-year-old Jihad al-Shami.
His first name is Jihad. It's shocking. He attacked a Jewish synagogue. And look how long it took this news reporter 30 seconds to get to his name. There it is right down in the lower right hand. Jihad al-Shami. Look at him. He had a suicide vest on and a knife, and he's stabbing people. Because heaven forbid you ever kill someone with a gun in the UK because they're so anti-gun. His name is Jihad. I'm just in shock at how dumb the media is and how naive Keir Starmer is. They didn't want to release his name to protect him. The world is upside down, and we need a whole lot of patriots to stand up and take control and end this madness. Guys, start opening your mouth. Don't take this crap anymore. They'll steal your country. They'll steal the world. They'll go all the way down and steal your family. They hate you, and they want you dead. I'm Doug in Exile. Subscribe.